Let's begin today's Vanguard news with a rush review of the startup trial deck cycle cards in DZBT01 due to a relative making me their personal graphic artist with no pay. Strafe Command Dragon when placed on rear guard from hand. Lets you pay 1 counter blast if you have a grade 3 or higher Triumph Dragon Vanguard to draw a card. And while on rear guard, you can pay 1 soul blast when it attacks to get 5k power. Then it gets an extra crit if you soul blast a grade 3 or higher Triumph Dragon card for this card's cost. Expect the crit counter heals to suddenly be sold out everywhere or be hoarded by card vendors until they know if this deck becomes the next Gandiva. Steam Artist Tilligan when put into your soul from rear guard lets you pay 2 soul blast with different names than this card if you have a grade 3 or higher Ossologest Vanguard to draw a card. And while on rear guard, you can pay 1 soul blast when he attacks to get 5k power for that battle. He gets 15k power instead if you soul blast a grade 3 or higher Ossologest card for this card's cost. If you fulfilled all conditions, he would be pushing for 38k power on his own. Meanwhile, the draw effect is so bad that you will probably only use it on emergencies or if you want to draw into a trigger. Swingby Dragon when placed on rear guard from hand lets you pay 1 counter blast if you have a grade 3 or higher Astrum Vanguard to draw a card. And once per turn while on the front row rear guard, you can pay 1 soul blast when your other unit stands by a card's effect to give this card 2k power. Then you stand itself if you soul blast a grade 3 or higher Astrum card for this card's cost. Astrum was already special when it has a set order support in this booster set, and now it gets a card that enables it to perform 5 attacks in 1 turn. It was already aesthetically appealing, and now it gets into the 5 attack meta club. Viral Core Dragon when placed on rear guard from hand that isn't on the battle phase lets you pay 1 counter blast if you have a grade 3 or higher Zerev CL Vanguard to call up to 1 grade 3 or lower unit card from the top 5 cards of your deck. And once per turn while on rear guard, you can pay 1 soul blast when it attacks to get 5k power. Then you either counter charge 1 damage or energy charge 3 if you soul blast a grade 3 or higher Zerev CL card for this card's cost. This seems to be different from all of the new startup trial deck cycle cards. Not only do you not draw with the first ability, but the second ability only refunds one of Zerev CL's ability cost instead. Resounding with a lovely Strike Girl Respino when placed on rear guard from hand lets you pay 1 counter blast if you have a grade 3 or higher Marlene Vanguard to draw a card. And while on rear guard, you can pay 1 soul blast when she attacks to get 5k power. She gets 15k power instead if you soul blast a grade 3 or higher Marlene card for this card's cost. I always thought Marlene was similar to Zerev CL, but turns out her cycle card is more similar to Ossologest. Affectionate Preparation is a normal order card that can be played by paying 2 energy blast to give your Vanguard a once per turn auto ability that lets you call a card from your soul to rear guard when its attack hits a Vanguard. This is going to be a fun addition in my Chronojet deck. If you thought guarding a Zagan boosted attack was annoying, now every Dark State Vanguard can become a Gear Eagle. Finally, if you were wondering where the hell was Christianus' cycle card, it seems that Bushiroad delayed its reveal until the end of the month. It's bad enough that he was already considered a budget Zorga, but without the roaming prison perks. Whatever that cycle card is, it better be on par with Inlet Pulse Dragon to make the deck relevant. And that concludes this Vanguard news without the bullshit. Special thanks to my Patreon members. I'm beginning to prefer this form of monetization assuming I get more members. Be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments which of these cycle cards do you think was the best.